Hi guys, this is Damian Brown here, Rugby Rovers FC owner and manager, and today we'll be doing the Q&A. Here we go. Right, first question from Daniel Siraga. What did you want to take the role as manager and why did you want to gain from it? I wanted to be manager. Before I started managing Rugby Rovers back in April, before then from December to April, I was actually a player and I played for several months for the club. When our former manager Kieran Baxter was manager, and I thought after Kieran left, somebody needed to give Rovers guidance because players was coming in and going, and it was just all paired up really. The club itself, to be honest, and I wanted to come in as manager, and what I wanted to gain, being Rugby Rovers FC manager, was turning the club around, bringing in the right players I needed to, and start getting the results for the club. And I think recently I've been doing that for the team. I've come in, results are getting a lot better. We've won 2 matches since I've been manager. I mean, scores haven't been too great. You know, I've managed to keep the goal scores down, but managed to keep the goal scores up as well for us scoring. So thank you for that question. Second question from Josh Widdowson. What did you think of being manager for Rugby Rovers? Similar question to the first one. It's good being Rugby Rovers FC manager at the moment. And now, you know, you do get people saying to you like, oh, you know, don't you wish you just manage another team, or wouldn't it be easy managing another club, you know, because of the results that Rugby Rovers have suffered this season from December onwards till today. And, you know, it's great being Rugby Rovers FC manager. I love Rugby Rovers. You know, I've got so much passion for the club. I've never had so much passion for anything. Yes, I'm a Manchester United fan. Ouch there, guys, for some people. But, you know, I love Rugby Rovers, and it's the best thing at the moment. You know, you do have you know, I live in Lawford and I walk to, you know, Dalton High School. You know, it's a half-hour walk there and back, and down. You know, sometimes I've walked it and we've lost 22-0 to teams, and you think, what's the point of carry on doing it? But honestly, guys, it's just great. Right. Third question from Jordan Reed. I know you're watching this, mate. Are you thinking of signing anyone? Funny enough, we might have 3 players coming in next season for us. I'm not saying the names on here because nothing's really been confirmed. But 2 of them already play in Leisure Leagues rugby for a team, and the other one plays for an outdoor Leisure Leagues team. And all I can say is watch out other teams, because Rugby Rovers next season will be looking quite sharp and fresh. Let's just say that. So teams just better watch out, I suppose. Right, 4th question from Ian Bell. What changes, if any, do you think you could make to strengthen the team? As you guys know, obviously, when we first come into, when the club was first made, myself, Ross, Jareth, Matthew and Quincy was the original Rugby Rovers lineup, with Kieran being our manager. And you know, since then, results was really bad. I mean, none of us was bad players. You know, it was just we never really done it mainly before, and you know, doing something like this, it was quite great. So Rugby Rovers, but obviously since then, since April, I've brought in 3 players: James, Sean, and Robert, and then Chev come and joined, and then we've had other players as guest players come along and play for us, and I think I've really strengthened the team, and I think Rugby Rovers have had a massive turnaround. And you know, at the start of it all, people was giving me so much stick because of the results and because how everything's all been turning out for us. I couldn't be happy with the club. Right, I've got 2 questions from this guy called James Collier, who's our striker, a top goal scorer for Rugby Rovers. He said, if you had to sack anyone, who would it be and why? It's a bit of a difficult question. I don't want to really dodge it because I do want to answer all the questions. It's a little bit hard saying on air because obviously I'm live in front of everyone. See, I'm not a manager to diss my players, because I think every bunch of my players are all great in their own ways. I mean, yes, some have got the strengths, some have got the weaknesses, and some aren't better than others. I will admit and say that, but I see the whole team as one. So for the first time in this live video, I'm going to dodge that question, to be honest. And James, I know you asked me to ask you, but I just can't, because I don't want to be that bad manager that's bad mouths my players, because I want everyone to feel all valued to the team. And your second question is, who is your most valuable player you have signed? Like I said, every person that's come and joined Rugby Rovers have all brought their own thing to the table, and they're all great in their own way. mean, Connor's a great goalkeeper, you know, brilliant. Sean and Chev and Steve are well defenders. You know, they do know their defence. I'll give them to that. And then James and Jamie and like Chev, you're all attacking firepower. So you all bring your own things to the table. And then there's Will, Quincy, and Robert, who are not always on the team lineup, but they all bring their talents and skills. I mean, Quincy's shots are absolutely unbelievable. Will's passing game is absolutely great, and Robert is a great goalkeeper when he's playing as he's our second choice keeper. But they all bring their, you know, if your question was basically who's your most valuable player, everyone. I know you've asked for one person, but everyone is. This is from DJ Nathan Swift. What is it like being manager? Obviously, I've already addressed this question one or two times. So to put it in a more in depth and detail, because I don't want to just slip the next question. You know, it's great being Rugby Rovers FC manager, as I've said at the start of the live video. I think that, you know, being manager, it takes on a lot of responsibilities, and you as a manager, you have this audience, you've got your team. And then you've got other people around you that support you, and then there's other people that watch it as well. And I think at the moment, you know, I'm impressing some people. I don't think I'm impressing everybody at the moment. Obviously, I'm not. I've never had much managerial experience. I actually am thinking of getting an FA coaching qualification, because if I really am going to take Rugby Rovers for serious, I am thinking of doing it. Right. This is a bit of a funny question. I knew we'd have some of these. This is from James Collier's Mrs. Sarah Collier. She said, was it true that you once had to go on a date with your goalkeeper, Connor Smith? If Connor's watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to mention the two girls that was involved in this, but yeah, a couple of years ago, Connor asked me to go on he was going on a date with someone, and he asked me to come along, and well, it was just all funny. But yes, it was definitely true. So, yeah, we'll skip the next question from that, shall we? Right, this is from one of our strikers, Quincy Garcia. His first question is, where do you see Rugby Rovers in 1 year from now? Which is a good question. Funny enough, a couple of months ago, me, my former manager, Kieran Baxter, and Ross Andrews, who was a former player for us, we had this conversation about how long would we do Rugby Rovers for and how long would we keep it active. You know, results wasn't, you know, back in April, I don't think we'd won a game. I think we'd won one forfeit game against Street Boys, who formerly was in Leisure Leagues Rugby. And, well, you know, I was thinking, should we just quit it now? Why, you know, let's just make it better for everyone, because, you know, there's no point of us all coming, paying money, and we just losing miserably and bad. But since new players have come in and we've had so much support across our social media pages, I think Rugby Rovers in a year's time could be really big, and I think we could be one of the biggest teams in Leisure Leagues and in making a little name in rugby, the area itself. And second question from Quincy Garcia, do you have any big plans for Rugby Rovers? I'm thinking of bringing in some more support and sponsors to the club. I think for Rugby Rovers, basically, in the years, obviously, just said the year's time, with the support, I think it's just more support and merchandise that I'm thinking of bringing. And I want to do everything great in them two categories. Right, and then this one is from the photographer Brian Dainty, who does the Leisure Leagues Rugby, takes the pictures. He says, in your early days playing at Leisure Leagues Rugby on a Thursday, your team suffered a lot of heavy defeats. Many teams would have folded under these conditions, but Rovers continued to play regardless until eventually you won your first match. Not only a win, but against the top of the league. What has kept you pushing forward with the team and stopped you from quitting? I think that's a great question from Brian. And to answer your question through in detail, obviously, the players made a difference when I brought the players in. Obviously, when we first started, you know, we was all like 21-year-olds, 19-year-olds. It was around them two categories between 18 and 21. With me being the oldest, I think Quincy or Matthew was the youngest at the time. And obviously, results was bad. I mean, our first debut game against AFFC, we lost 7-1. But then from that onwards, it was like 14-0, 18-0, 21-1, 22-0. And hello, Gail. Thank you for joining the live video. But yeah, what I was saying is when I brought the players in April, I brought a lot of older lads in who have had experience within football, such as James and Robert and Sean, and when Chev joined a month later, and I think that's what made the biggest difference. And Rugby Rovers, people go on like, oh, we're the crap of the league and we're the laughing stock and we're the jokes, but I think Rugby Rovers, we are the underdogs of the league, as you can see in the league tables last season and this season. But I think obviously we've been stepping up and we've got so much spirit and so much joy, and the whole team's now more coming together. And I don't see sometimes as my team, I see them as family, because it's great on a Thursday night. It's just great for the club. Right, next question is from Trafford Brown, who is records our football matches. Are you thinking of starting any merchandise soon? I am thinking of starting some merchandise for the club. I haven't really discussed it with the players yet fully, but yeah, I'm thinking of bringing in some merchandise soon. I've just got to discuss with one of the players, but I'm thinking of bringing in some merchandise to the club, and I think we could get quite popular with it. Right, next question is from Ryan Timms. What made you create Rugby Rovers? I've never really told people how I became manager and why did I start it, but in September last year I went through a bit of a family crisis situation involving my parents. I'm not going to get too much into it, obviously, because I'm on a public live video, but I needed something to clear my mind off stuff, to be honest, guys. I mean, I've got great support around me, but great friends, a girlfriend, and I've got my work colleagues, but I just needed something to take my mind off, and I thought I needed to start doing something to keep myself busy and away from this. So that is one of the reasons why I've started Rugby Rovers FC. Another reason was become more sociable. I wanted to go out more and and just enjoy the time I like, playing the sport I love. And that's to answer your question. Right, next question is from Stephen Priest, who captains BRE on a Tuesday night league, I think. Is there any players or players you have agreed personal terms with to sign next season? There is 3 players that may be joining Rugby Rovers. 2 of them do play in the Leisure League Rugby and 1 does play in the outdoors. I'm not going to be mentioning any names because I don't want to disrespect that at the moment or anything. So, yeah, I think they may be joining. I'm still talking with them at the moment, but I think 2 of them are very keen to join, and with the other one I'll have to see where things go. Right, this is from our assistant manager, Sean Smith, who normally comes along. What made you form Rugby Rovers FC? As I've already said, it was to become more sociable, and it was to clear my head away from the reality of my life in the world basically at the moment. And his second question is, if there was any player you would want to sign from another team from Leisure Leagues, who would it be and why? Watching, since December, I've watched teams come and play, and I think, some are really great teams. I don't think there's any team I could dislike or say anything bad about, because they're all bring their own different skills and talents and play formation-wise into the game. But if there was one player that I'm really impressed with, I mean, there's players from Puskas who are currently lead top of the table, the Street Tuggers who have won it 5 times. And there's GGs who are another quality side, as well as Pink Panthers, BTEC Barca, Carphone too. All them teams are all great in their own way. If there was one person that I think I had to bring in, I think it would be Adam Timms from GGs. He played as a guest player a couple of weeks ago when we played Puskas, and he scored 2 great goals. And it was not just him scoring his goals, his playing ability, his physical, his strength, everything. He was quick, everything I'd want. He was just brilliant, and GGs are so lucky to have him, and he does make a great captain, and that is why he was voted Player of the Year last year for Leisure League Rugby. So it'd be Adam Timms I would sign. Next question is from Damian Brown. Will there be any changes made to the team? Obviously, with 4 games left of the season, I'm thinking at the moment, obviously, I want Rugby Rovers each year to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and how can I make them better? And I think at the moment what Rugby Rovers need is we need certain players in, and I think certain players who play for us at the moment could still be involved within the club, but just take more of a coaching role, maybe helping on the sides, because they're great players, but obviously I want Rugby Rovers to be the team I want them to be, and I need to get them that success, and the wins need to come, and hopefully Rugby Rovers can challenge for the title one day when we do get there, and I think when we am ready as a team. Next question is from Harry Truman. If there were any changes you would make to the team, what would they be? Obviously, at the moment, I'm leaving the team lineups for the last 4 games of the season. But when I do bring in the players that hopefully do join, then hopefully there'll be a massive change to the team as well as an improvement. I'm not saying that the current team at the moment slacking or anything, because obviously them lads go out and they work and work and work for that last half hour. I mean, you watch the game for half hour and it's just like, it goes quick, but how much that is I've played in that league as well as other players who have once played for Rugby Rovers, and it is a very fast-paced league. People who know who've played in that league, it is very difficult. And if you haven't got that full fitness, everything, you will feel the pain and hurt, because so have myself, as I've once have. I'm not the fittest or cardio person in the world, but I know it bloody hurts. So I think when the changes do come in for Rugby Rovers, it will be the best. As Mitch just put the thumbs up because he does now. Right, this is from Kaylee McMurray. What is it like being the manager, and is it exciting? Obviously, being the manager, that's already been discussed and said. But is it exciting? In most categories, yeah, it is quite exciting. I love playing football, but as well as I love managing it. Well, I've never really had a chance of managing it since when Kieran left. I thought I had to be the manager. I didn't want the team playing with no manager, because I need a person to give Rugby Rovers direction. And I played my last game against Street Tuggers, and I thought that I had to join the club. Obviously, I was already joining the club, but to be the manager of the club, I needed to take that role, and get my head down and really sort Rugby Rovers and change this, which I think I have been doing at the moment. Right, this is we've got quite several questions here from Dean Harper. Right, before the start of the season, was there any players you would like to? Before the start of the season, are there any players you would like to sign? Well, obviously, we're coming to the end of the second season for Rugby Rovers, but when the third season does come, obviously the players will be coming in. As a manager, so is your biggest department going to be your opinion? Some teams that we have played, some have very outclassed us and outplayed us, and some we've gave right a go. So it depends how each team's play, I suppose. How do you compare yourself and your determination with some other great managers of all time? I'm nowhere near Sir Alex Ferguson level or Pep Guardiola for sure, but I think I'm doing an okay job at the moment. It's definitely going up. It's probably not boosting up like a rocket, but it's slowly going up. Nick, right, what position are you aiming to achieve by the end of the season? Obviously, we're currently joint 10th at the moment with AFFC. We're on 4 points. It's the most points we've achieved, because in the last season, when we first joined when Rugby Rovers was made, obviously we were still the young players at the time, and obviously we didn't finish very high. We finished 10th with only 2 points, which was a forfeit win. But this current season, I think ourselves and AFFC are battling between 10th and 9th. I know it's only 10th and 9th place, last position, but I think next season with the players that come in, we could literally go mid-table, if not top 4 maybe. I don't want to be a deluded manager and tell you, I've got the best team in the world and I've got the best players. I don't need anything else, because I do know the team needs improving massively. But I think Rugby Rovers could. I think we could really challenge them teams. We beat Street Tuggers, who were 5-time winners. We beat Street Tuggers 5-3. We defeated a great pig side like Pink Panthers 8-5 2 weeks ago. I think we could challenge anyone really. Right, the next question is: do you ever feel like you need to strip off the manager's suit and lace up your boots to show the lads how it's done? Funny question there, Dean. Obviously, I was once a player for Rugby Rovers. I probably wasn't the greatest of players, but I don't think I was the worst player either. I think I was an average player. I was quite a good defender, good strength, but my cardio could have been a lot better. But now I think at the moment the lads are just doing it fine without me lacing up my boots. How have you improved from last season to now, and what has changed in the dressing room? I think obviously the players have made a massive difference. I think it's support as well. Support, confidence, motivation. It's all kicked in massively this season for the lads, and I think that they've really gone out and they've really done what they need to do, and they go out and play 30 minutes and they play as a team, and everything is getting better between them all. What are your separate targets for each of your players, etc.? Goals for striker and blocks for your defender and passes for a midfielder. Obviously, we have at the moment, throughout the whole season, we've tried different formations. We tried We tried 3-1, we tried 1-3, we've tried 2-1-1. But I think at the moment, our best formation we've been using is 2-2, two central defence midfielders and two strikers. And, I always make sure the lads, always try and help them where they're needed to help. If defenders, you just need to watch your area and watch your man. With the midfielders, the midfielders, I think, is the hardest position in that league because in the defence and the attack and the fitness has got to be incredible. Matthew Hambidge and Mitch Reeves will know that because they once played for us, and the midfield is a hard position to do. And obviously, with your strikers, like James and Jamie Racker and top goal scorers, the strikers, it's very hard for strikers because to boast through that league, the hall ain't that massive and it is really hard for them to do. But I think with the goals themselves, I think everyone's all hitting their targets at the moment. If you could jump ship, which team would you most likely go to? I've never saw myself as the guy to leave Rugby Rovers behind, because if I left Rugby Rovers behind, no one would manage the social media pages, and I don't think no one would turn up. So it'd be crucial if Rugby Rovers ever disbanded because of me leaving. I wouldn't say I'm the guy that keeps Rugby Rovers together, but then in some cases I would. And I think at some places I'm the heart of Rugby Rovers. But if I had to jump to another team, I wouldn't pick someone like Puskas or Street Tuggers because it's a team that's always winning. I don't want to always feel like I'm on the winning side. Honestly, if I had to pick a team, I'd pick BTEC Barca. They're a quite young, quality lads, and I think there's a lot of potential with all them lads. And they've done massively well this season, and I think it would be BTEC Barca. They've got a great captain, Sam Harris, and I think that's the team I would go with. And do you ever feel that you need to express your feminine side and sign of a woman? Yeah, I don't really know with that one, to be honest. I'm gonna jump to the next question. I think, will you be rocking a new kit design this season? Is sticking with the traditional? Obviously we have. Myself and the lads have been talking about club kit at the moment, and I think with club kit wise, we am just looking at different kit at the moment for Rugby Rovers, but we'll have to see how it goes. Right then, we've got a couple of questions now from Steve Bauer, who currently plays for us as a defender. Do you think we can compete with the bigger teams next season? As I've already said, yes, I think we definitely can. And will we be making Rovers bigger, such as advertisements and sponsorships? I'd love to. I really want Rugby Rovers massively on advertising and a lot of sponsors for us. And right, also a cheeky one. What do you think is my better position? I think I'm getting better on the pitch, but did enjoy playing in goal last week. Obviously, whatever's great for you, Steve, that's great for me. But I think as a goalkeeper, you're great. But I think, honestly, as a central defence midfielder, you're better. You're getting a lot quicker. Your tackles are more better. And I think it's really great for the club. Right, we'll now go to the next question. This one is from the not Rugby Rovers. This one is from the Leisure League's rugby owner, as well as the referee, Adam Britton. He said, what is your biggest challenge you've faced since taking on Rugby Rovers? Obviously, Adam owns the league and he does the refereeing for the league. I think the biggest challenge that we've had and iced was, I think, defeating Street Tuggers before going into the match. I think that was the biggest challenge for us that we've had to do, to face a 5-time champions who had defeated us earlier in the season 12-0. To go and beat them 5-3 as a manager. I think that was the biggest thing I've ever done for the club. This one's from Sam Harris, the captain of BTEC Barca. Are you happy with the progress that your team has made? Yeah, I'm really happy with the team that's made this season for Rugby Rovers. I think the team's getting on a lot better. We're developing more, and I couldn't be happy with the club. What is it? Right, this one's from Gail Jeffridge. What's it like being the manager, and what type of things do you have to do? Obviously, I've already expressed about being the manager. But with the what do you have to do? Obviously, I have to make sure with Rugby Rovers that I have to make sure that the team's always ready to play each week, and I have to make sure that everyone's all fit and ready. Obviously, I want to know days before if my team can play or not. And I think that would answer that question. Right, I'm just going to take a little break for a sec, guys. We'll be returning back in a minute. Obviously, if you've got any questions to ask, just please do ask. I'll be back in a sec, guys. Right, guys, I am now back, and I will carry on answering your questions. Right, the next question we have is from Jareth Wesley. Question for the manager: recruiting players to the team was a huge success and started. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to move the camera a bit. There we go. You can see me now better. Right, that's better, guys. You can see me now. The sun's way too bright today. Right, recruiting new players to the team was a huge success and started to achieve some wins for the club, which was fantastic. Congratulations. But do you think Rugby Rovers are going to become the next successful club in Leisure League's history? I'd say it's hard to tell at the moment. Obviously, we've only been established since December, and we've been playing for like 7-8 months. So it's I can't really, I'm not yet. I'd give it a good couple of seasons yet between, before Rugby Rovers can hit our highest peak. But I think that Rugby Rovers can become successful, but it's just in a couple of seasons to come. More players come in, more support. I think we really could literally go and do it. Right, and the next one is from Adam Sims, who currently plays for GGs as their captain. Do you feel, seeing from playing GGs last week, that you will change the way you play? For example, slowing the game down to how you would like to play, passing football and a more solid team. I think sometimes when we first started playing Rugby Rovers, when we started first playing, I think the way we played was, I think it was okay football, but most of us panicked a lot. Yeah, I'd say it was panicked. It was more of a panicked football when we first started playing because we was up against really good, experienced teams. And I'd say, yeah, most of us panicked. And then, towards the end of the first season, I think we got a little bit better. Communication was a little bit better. I think Kieran would agree with me on that one, the former manager. But this season, in season 2, I think football has got more better play. We're a lot more quicker on the ball. We're less panicky. And I think we, as a team, I think there is ways we could improve more playing. I think defence needs massively working. It's not too bad, but it could do with a lot of work. It does need a lot better. Goalkeeping wise, Connor's brilliant at the moment. I don't think there's enough really to address on that. I think he just needs a little bit more of knowledge of being the goalkeeper, basically. But other than that, it'd be fine. And then with our strikers, Jamie, James, and Quincy at the moment, I think they just need to. I think it's just their accuracy. I think they've got good accuracy, but they could just improve it as the matches come along and play. Right, just going to looking on for the next question. Right, the next question is from Elliot Parsons. Where do you imagine Rugby Rovers will be in 2 years' time? Obviously, the question already got asked earlier about where would Rugby Rovers be in 1 year time. So I think in 2 years' time we'd be, more successful. I'd say. I think in 2 years' time, obviously I can't predict what would happen in 2 years' time. I don't know if I'd still even be a manager. I don't know if someone else would be taking over the job or different players coming in and going. I don't really know, or if we're playing in a different league. But I think that certain players would still be there with us. I think I'd still be a manager or still heavily linked within the club. And hopefully that we'd have a trophy under our name probably. This one's from our current player, Will. How big of a challenge is it to pick a squad when some players come and go and you need to work out their best attributes and how they will work best against the opposition? Obviously, every Thursday we do play, it's always different teams come with different playing styles. And, we always need to be ready for what's going to come against us. So I think with certain players I do now, mostly I can read most people's playing skills, their attributes, where they're strong at, where they're weak at, where they could improve. And I think attributes mean a lot within the Football League and with the players themselves, because the attributes develop the player as they are. And I think that, I need to study the players a little bit more. I mean, I would say I've got a great study knowledge of them at the moment, but obviously you can always keep on studying and studying, for your players to get better and play in their main positions they'd like to be, as within them at the moment. The next question is from Adam Gunga. What influenced you to be a club manager and not a team player? Do you enjoy your role as a manager and do you hope to see more wins next season? Obviously, I've already mentioned about me being the manager and not a team player, but do you enjoy the role as manager? Yes. It does have its bad days when we lose badly, but, even when we play great and still lose, it's still good to see the team that's developing and improving, and obviously if it's a win, bonus. And I think more wins next season, yeah, definitely. I could see us getting quite a few amount of wins next season, and I hope to think that the team can as well. This one is from Sophie Russell. After a recent loss to GG's, what's your inspiration to carry on and motivate your team for the next game? Our next game is against FC Dave Salona. I think, don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure. I think that's who against. I'm just going to, yeah, I was right. I should have trust me. Yeah, it's FC Dave Salona, who we've played at the start of the season. We lost 9-2 against them, and they're a good side in the league, and they do play on another league, which is why they show how good and fitness they are. But after our miserable defeat to GG's, obviously, myself and Connor, we always try and boost the lads up before the game, and Sean McGlinch, who is a very passionate player for us, we all like to get riles up and give massive passion, etc. And I think that's all Rugby Rovers can do, really, is just passion and heart. And I think for the next game, we give it to every team like we do every other week, I think. Right, we're just now going on to the next question. I'm grateful for everybody that's been asking questions and support the club. I really, without you guys, really, that's what carries on Rugby Rovers, I think. This one is from James Ward, who currently plays for GG's in the Leisure League Rugby. After hang on a sec. What's your thoughts on the Leisure League's referee? Obviously, the referee and the owner is Adam Britton. I think Adam's a fair, lenient ref. I think there's been times where fouls have happened or situations have happened. It's not always gone our way. I mean, some of our players don't really help sometimes, but, we try and keep cool and be good on that. But I think Adam as a referee is a fair referee, most of the times, if not, great calls. And I think our team just needs to learn. Obviously, playing indoor football is different rules, obviously, but I think that's all I can say, really, he's a fair referee. And then this one is from Damian Brown. What's it like being a manager and how do you think you do for the rest of the season? Obviously, being a manager, we've already been discussed that, but how do you think you do the rest of the season? 3 of our games I'm a little bit worried about. Carphone 2, FC Dave Salona, who obviously we've got Thursday, and Diego Juniors. They're all 3 quality sides. So it's hard to really call on them 3 games. But our last game of the season is against AFFC, who it's always been that team where we've played them, we've nearly had them, but they've just beaten us. And I think with the players we've got at the moment, I think we could beat AFFC at the last game of the season. And I think we could finish on a margin of 6 points and hopefully finish 9th. I know finishing 9th is not the best, obviously, but to get our 3rd win of the season would be massive for us. This one is from Alex Brown, who played for us last Thursday. against GGs who actually scored as well. What are your long-term goals for the future of the team? Obviously, no one can know what happens around the corner. Anything can happen. You know, today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. I think anything can happen. And long-term goals-wise, I want the club to have more success. You know, more wins under the belt. You know, obviously, I want to give players a chance playing for the club. You know, Mitch, Archie, Marcel, every team that's come and played for us, you know, they're all now. So that is the end of the questions, but I have had other questions come through, and I will now check. This one is from Mitch Reeves. You've had a lot of players come in and go, but which players do you miss? So this is from Mitch Reeves, and he's just asked, you have a lot of players come and go, but which players do you miss? I mean, I've had several players come in and go. Oh God, I've had loads. I mean, like Ross Andrews, he played most. You know, out of all the players that are no longer players, he obviously had the most caps before leaving. So I'd say him I miss. But I think yourself, Mitch, you scored two, 3 goals for us. I think he was a great addition for the team. Obviously, when you did join, I think it gave us a little bit of a kick up the arse, should I say, and a bit of life. But I'd say yourself, Mitch, really. Mitch Reeves, that is, I'd say that too. I'd miss at the moment for Rugby Rovers. And the second question from Mitch is, what is your best goal scored for Rugby Rovers? I'll answer this as the club's best goal and my own best goal. For the club's best goal, the best goal I've ever seen Rugby Rovers score was from Matthew Hambidge when he scored from the halfway line against Puskas FC, the bottom corner. I couldn't believe it went in, and we lost miserably that game. But for Matthew to score a goal from the halfway line, which was so brilliant, that I'd say is the best goal I've ever saw Rugby Rovers FC score. Myself, I've only ever scored 2 goals, one against Pink Panthers and one was against AFFC. And I think my best goal I've ever scored was against AFFC. It was our first game of the season, our first ever game for Rugby Rovers, and we lost 7-1. But I was the only goal scorer, and to score in Rugby Rovers FC's first ever game, it was just something else. It was one of them special feelings, I'd say, scoring the first ever goal in our first ever clubs match. And I'm just going to be checking out if any other questions have come in. This one's from Shell Jane. Are you happy with the team? Dame, any more signings in the pipeline? Yeah, I'm so delighted. I'm so overthrilled with the team at the moment. I could not be happy with any one of them. They're all working so hard. And I mean, even people off the pitch, such as my young brother Trafford, who comes and records every week, you know, it's little stuff like that just makes up for the team itself. And I just couldn't be happy with Rugby Rovers, the club itself. And any more signings in the pipeline, that one has already been addressed. And we may have 3 players join in next season, but we will see how that will play out. So other than that, guys, obviously that's all my that's questions. Obviously, if you aren't watching at the moment, you can feel free to ask questions. And obviously, I know I'm 38 minutes in, but I think with Rugby Rovers FC, speaking it now from our point of view, from myself, I think we can go far in the league, and I think we could do very well. We just need, with obviously players, I think players just need to get more use known of the league. But other than that, I think we can do great things for this, to be honest. It's just, at the moment, I think my main focus for the club is just trying to get more support for the team across the social media pages. And I think other than that, for Rugby Rovers, I think we need to do more training exercises. We need to find, because I know some of our players do play for other teams on a different days, leagues. But other than that, to be honest, that's all I could say. We just need more training drills. And other than that, we just have to see how the rest of this season and next season. But I've been thinking of a question I thought was going to pop up from anyone, but hasn't. But I'm going to answer it. I thought if anybody would ask, would they ever play for a different league? I have thought about it, and players have suggested, would you ever play for a different league? I don't know. Sometimes I don't think some of my players are happy within the league I play in, and I don't know. I may think of doing an outdoor league in a couple of seasons' time. I don't know. I don't want to do anything right now. I want to keep it as it is. I just want to keep it. I don't want to keep it playing in basic. Most of the players that get you've come in are getting to know where we're playing in, and I think other than that, guys, I think that's me all done. So I'd like to thank everybody who asked the questions, and I'd like to obviously thank people who have supported us since December onwards. And I probably will do this again because I think it was great talking to the public, because I think it's so important, Rugby Rovers, to have a link within the public as well as the league and other teams. So other than that, guys, I'd like to thank everyone that's asked questions and support, and keep supporting us, guys. It's that one thing that we just need at the moment to just give that team a little bit of spirit. And other than that, guys, I'd like to thank everybody who has watched or been watching this live stream. I'm not the very confident people. You can probably tell throughout the video I'm not all explosive and big public talking, but I'm trying to get better, because obviously being a manager, you do need to be confident and motivational as well as great figure speech. So other than that, guys, thank you, and let's hope for a win Thursday. Come on, Rovers! Bye, guys.